Working out what steps you need to do for your goals can be really difficult, and today I'm going to be talking about a concept called backwards mapping that can help you work out what steps you need to do in order to achieve your goals. But before we get too far into that, let's just go over the week we are planning and the materials I am using. So I am planning the week of the 20th of April 2026 in my A5 wide, no, 7x9 Tilly journals, which is my shop planner in a vertical one column undated layout, and I have the weekly only. And I'm actually using a kit from my shop as well called Sunshine and Rain with art by Clip Art Kits. I absolutely love this. I think it's stunning. There are a couple of changes that I am planning to make to my kits from this format, and that is just to make the colour blocking pop a little bit more. So my little things, the non-patterned ones, are going to change so the colour is on the main bit, so you're not like getting rid of the majority of the colour when you put your icon or whatever on. And also I'm going to make the sort of white overlay a little bit less so that it's not as much dulling of the colour. And also my glitter headers are a little bit small, which is why I can fit an extra bottom washi in, which I use a one from Simply Gilded, I believe, in a confetti design to fill it up. I will realise in a second that I've put too many of my bougie boxes down and ripped some up, but that's fine. We will get there. So, other things that I'm using. So, as I've said, I'm using Sunshine and Rain from my shop, and then I am using a foil bundle from Plannerface in a floral design in silver foil. And then I also have some underlays from my shop, which are these sort of plaid, I think they're actually Champagne Lights gold foil. I just thought that would bring in the colours, the yellowy colours of the kit a little bit more. And I love a yellowy orange kit. So there we have it. Also, I have my stickers pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album, as well as the scripts that I have designed myself to use for the week. And I think that's pretty much everything that I am using. As for the happenings of the week, let's have a little chat about those. Sorry, just quickly before we move on, the washi I've added is actually from Fox and Cactus, not Simply Gilded. So in terms of the week, I was doing a lot of Tilly Journal stuff this week, and I also finished the only book that I finished in April, which was A Court of Thorns and Roses, which the first time I read it, I think I gave 2 or 2.5 stars, and on this reread, I gave it 4 stars. So in terms of the week, on Monday, I had a bit of a lie-in. I had a slow morning and was working on planner files and printing, did some planning, filmed a plan with me, and had a very long bedtime. And there's something else marked in, which you can establish what is if you would like. On to Tuesday, again, had a bit of a slow morning, and then we went to Baby Sensory. We have unfortunately done our last Baby Sensory session because Bayla has aged out of it, which is very sad. It was magic themed this week, so I decided to just use a little wand. I recorded a voiceover and then I headed to GP teaching, and I actually went in person this day, which is the only time I've been in person since I went back to work in February. I tend to do the online ones over going in person just because it's like a half-hour drive from my house as well. So then it adds an hour onto the teaching time if I do the in-person ones. But my little girl came with me, sort of. So she came, my husband and my little girl both came, and my husband and daughter hung out while I had my teaching, but during the break she came to say hello and meet some people, which was very, very sweet. When we came back, we had bath time and I played some Dreamlight Valley. On to Wednesday, I did some script designing, and then I had a dental appointment, which I believe was a dental hygienist. And then when I got home, I had the co-working call that is part of our Patreon to get some stuff done, and I was pulling some stickers and then filmed a plan with me. Played some more Dreamlight Valley, recorded a voiceover, and then had stories with my little girl in the evening. Thursday, I was feeling very tired, but I was at work. It was a sort of half-day clinic, half-day teaching time. So we had a learning event meeting. Bayla got sent home from nursery a little bit early because she wasn't herself. By the time we picked her up, she was absolutely fine, but we had some nice play and just a bit of an early night, and she was absolutely fine to go back to nursery the next day. We actually had a really good night with her. I wonder whether what she was feeling a bit poorly, but yeah. I was at work and just not feeling very clever, to be honest. I was just feeling like I was struggling with absolutely everything at work. I was absolutely exhausted, and my husband was being really supportive and lovely, so I've just marked that in. And then we did some listening to The Martian in the evening, which is the audiobook we were listening to together that we still haven't finished in June. Though actually this may have been something else. I don't know. Or I might have been listening to my own audiobook. Don't know. I was listening to an audiobook of some variety. So I don't think we started The Martian this long ago. Anyhow, on to Saturday. We may have still been listening to Addie LaRue, actually. We will have still been listening to Addie LaRue because we finished that in May. Never mind. On to Saturday, I had a bit of a lie-in and then played some Dreamlight Valley, worked on orders and got everything done that had been ordered at the Great Planner Getaway, had some rest time and we sat outside, which was a lovely sunny day and it's just nice to enjoy the good weather. Had a bit of a nap and played some Dreamlight Valley to finish off the day. On to Sunday, again, started the day with some Dreamlight Valley, filmed at the workshop from the Great Planner Getaway because I agreed to provide a digital copy of that. Had a shower with my husband, filmed my bullet journal video for May, did some planning, probably filmed a plan with me or was using Bestie Journal, listened to some more of Addie LaRue, was feeling in my feelings, and then we had the Planners Department book club, we were talking about The Court Thorns and Roses, which I've already said that I finished this week. So it was quite fresh in my mind. And that is it for what happened in the week. So now we can move on to our topic of how we break down goals and things. And the topic that I want to cover today is actually called backwards mapping. So I sort of got this concept from Jashi Corinne, but it is also something that I've sort of developed myself because I used her system and then I found some ways that I find it a bit easier than how when I first learned about her system and she talked about it, she has actually now talked about some of these changes herself. So I feel a bit like, but I still want to have a little chat about it because I think it is a really useful tool. And that is called backwards mapping. So this is essentially looking at the outcome that you want and working backwards from how you might get there. But I don't like to just work backwards. I also like to work from the starting point. So you might know what the first couple of things in a project are, and I generally start with the beginning bit rather than the end bit because I generally know what the first couple of steps I need to take are. So for example, one of my goals this quarter is probably going to be about having a serious think about the business and what I want to do with it. And the first thing I'm going to do is basically do a big brain dump or word vomit of how I feel about it and what's stressing me out about the business and what I'm enjoying about the business. Also what's selling well and things like that, and doing that, the brain dump, and then doing some research and potentially then doing a questionnaire to see what customers want and things like that. So like I know they are the first few steps without thinking about it at all. I know that's what I need to do. So I generally look at that first. I know somewhere in the middle that I need to start editing the website. I need to do a stock count, for example, and of things that aren't going to stay in the shop because I might as well sell what I've got. And then I know at the end I need to publish the changes on my website and do some posts on Instagram and on my Facebook page to announce the new changes and do some posts leading up to that. I know one of the near end steps is pressing publish on the website of any changes that are being made. So like I know those bits straight off without particularly thinking. I've not brainstormed this at all. And so they're sort of three distinct little points that I can work through. So what I do is I put my start position and my end position on just a scrap bit of paper. I like to do this on a scrap bit of paper because I like to just like work through it without needing to feel neat or anything like that. So I either use my scribbly journal, which is a TN sized insert where I can just write down whatever I fancy. And so I put my start point and I put anything that I know that needs to happen early. And then I put my end point, put anything I know needs to happen near the end. And then I just fill in bits in the middle. And then I think about how I might get from those first steps to that middle step and how I might get from those middle steps to the end step. And it just gives you somewhere to sort of bounce off your ideas. I would like to say that you do not have to have every single step. If every single step is going to be overwhelming to you, don't put every single step down. I am trying this quarter to put nearly every step down and actually split that pretty early on into 12 weeks and break it down week by week so I know what I need to achieve each week to hit my goals. Because I'm trying some of the 12-week year methods, and that is one of them, is that you break down your weekly plan into weekly plans early in the cycle, in the 12 weeks, so that you can know what you have to achieve each week. So that is definitely something I'm going to be doing. And one of the reasons backward mapping works is because it gives you different little points to work off. Because it's quite hard if you just sit there and think, I want to have a big revamp of my shop, but I don't even know what I want to revamp. So how am I meant to make some action steps for this? But actually, I've just gone over some of the main action steps that are going to have to happen. Once you've got this full, and it can be quite hard to fill in those blanks between things because you won't think of everything. There'll be new steps that come up after you've started. And it may be that one of the early steps is research, and you can't make much more of an action plan until you've done that research. And there's two ways to tackle. Why are my words so hard today? I am being my hot mess self and not editing this out. I could edit it out, but to be honest, I want to be my hot mess self because it is authentic. And I am a bit of a hot mess, and it is also heatwave weather here in the UK. So if I'm not making any sense, it's because I'm hot and bothered. To be fair, our house isn't that hot yet. We've got the conservatory doors open, which the cats are not happy about because they're indoor cats, and the conservatory is normally like where they like to sunbathe. So they cannot go in the conservatory at the moment, and Kiara is just sitting behind my laptop staring into the conservatory like, why am I not allowed? Bless her. Anyhow, what I was saying is, I've literally forgotten what I was saying. I'm not gonna lie. I was saying that one of the early steps might be research, and there are two ways to tackle that. Number one is to make sure you do that research in week 1, and then you can firm up your plans later. So part of week 1 will be doing the research and then reformulating your plan when you've done that research. And that could be your action steps for week 1 for one of your goals. The other way to tackle it is to use reset week, which is the week I'm currently in and the week that this video goes up. And use that to do your research so that you can hit the ground running at the beginning of the quarter. Either of those absolutely work fine, and whichever feels right to you or you have the time for. For example, I am a bit behind this reset week. I haven't started my setup for the quarter or the month in my bullet journal at all / DIY planner. I don't really think I'm bullet journaling anymore. I'm not really bullet journaling anymore. I'm vaguely using some bits of the bullet journal system, but really it's a DIY planner. I've not started any of that. So I'm feeling quite behind because I've not set my goals either. I did my brainstorm yesterday. So as of Monday, I had ideas in my head of what I was going to have my goals for quarter 3 for, but I hadn't even done a proper brainstorm. So I'm feeling quite behind. So if any of my goals need some research, that is going to be in week 1 this time. But it might be that next quarter I am a bit better at having done my brainstorm and thinking a bit more about my goals. So that research could be in reset week. And if you don't use a quarterly system or 12-week year or cyclic planning with a reset week, the other option is just doing it at the end of a quarter, which is the same as doing it in reset week, isn't it, really? But yeah, the way you then take this backwards mapping / map of how you're going to achieve your goal into action steps is you go along it. So you start at the beginning, you look at the first step that you've written down, you go, is this an action or is it a step? So is it something I could just get up and do? And is it something that I need to do? And is it something I can do? Can I just get up tomorrow and decide to do this action? And if the answer is yes, you put that on your list of action steps. If the answer is no, how do you make that both an action, so something you can do, and a small step that is not a project? So when we talk about action steps, we want these to be small things that you can achieve, not a project that's going to take 3 days. So once you've checked it's both of those things, you can pop it on your task list / action step list. And then you just go through each of your steps and do that. But that is all I have for this video and to chat about today. On the screen in just a moment, YouTube will be recommending my previous Plan With Me's memory keeping videos in this planner, as well as a video that it thinks you will enjoy. Look at that gorgeous foil wiggle. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!